SakerMedia here. This is MinigamesMan, my Iron Man with a focus on minigames. In this series, I will complete all minigames, upgrade their respective items, and train my skills in the chunks where they reside, with an endgame focus on completing the Colosseum and the Inferno. When we last left our hero, he was just entering the farming guild. I'd previously earned 65 farming level over at the Tithe Farm minigame. We're gonna get a real start on farming, like, with farming patches. Within our rules, we did allow ourselves to do the skilling bosses, which there are 4 of, one of which is the Hespori within the Farming Guild chunk. This also does allow us to access the farming contracts to passively earn seeds, and kind of gives us a guide on what we should plant while we're in here. I have earned my first Hespori seed at the Underwater Agility Seaweed Patch, so here we're going to start the Hespori's growth, and we're going to go ahead and let this just kind of sit for a bit until it's ready. We are aiming for Hespori's rare drop of the Bottomless Compost Bucket, which can hold all of our compost for us in one bucket. And the farming contracts are an excellent task to start farming patches and unlock even more seeds. In the future, this space will be our only way to access redwood logs once we acquire a redwood tree seed, as well as gaining some more farming levels, of course. We can also gain some seeds from the master farmers, which we can pickpocket over here. And with that, we have completed our first task, and we can finally start our seed collection. Nice! Taking a look over at Mort'ton, there is a couple of minigames we can unlock over in that area. After completing a few quests in the area, the first is the Temple Trekking minigame, a pathing and exploration minigame where multiple events may occur. I have to keep a follower alive through events such as spirits, snails, snakes, vampires, nail beasts, ghasts, a rope swing, a friendly monk, and the bridge. The bridge is nice because it allows us to obtain the lumberjack outfit from the zombies which spawn in the water here. And there is the lumberjack outfit unlocked. Pretty easy to get here. I'd say the whole thing takes maybe a half hour. Harder paths can also spawn a dangerous boat event where tentacles attack your follower. I highly suggest not taking the harder paths in this. The easy gets you pretty good XP consistently. Speaking of the rewards here are nice for early to mid game. The redeems are pure essence, bowstring, silver bars, some herbs, coal and iron, watermelon seeds, raw lobsters, and a tome of experience between some random skills. These tomes do have a 1 in 7 chance at being the Slayer tome for Slayer XP. This tome is going to help us boost some of those early Slayer levels, which otherwise would have taken kind of forever. It does get a bit repetitive, but overall, I'd say it's a very easy minigame with some nice guaranteed rewards. There also used to be an event called the Bog, but thankfully Jagex was gracious enough to remove that forever. You might have seen that in the Swamp-Letics series. The other minigame in Mort'ton is Shades of Mort'ton. In this minigame, you'll sanctify oil as you repair a temple. The oil is combined with logs and a nearby spirit remains to give keys. These colored keys grant access to the crypt below. Higher tier of shades will reward higher tiers of keys. This space will eventually unlock fine cloth used to make split bark and the rune scrolls for swamp bark and blood bark armor upgrades. We will also access the zealot robes, which help with your prayer training, and the Amulet of the Damned. This degradable amulet yields the same stats as the Amulet of Glory. However, when combined with full Barrow's armor, can upgrade the Barrow's set effects. Over at Soul Wars, I did obtain an Ectoplasmator, an excellent early game tool which gives prayer XP every time you kill a ghostly or undead creature. This item is completely slept on in my opinion. It's free prayer XP. And it pairs nicely with Shades of Mort'ton, as you'll be killing Shades quite often, which, by the way, give prayer XP when burned, as well as a bit of fire making XP. And with that, we have gotten our prayers up to level 45, finally unlocking all of our overhead prayers. We also got an Amulet of the Damned, the best amulet for the time being. Oh nice, a power amulet as well. And we got the Bloodbark Scroll. Honestly, there's a lot of upgrades in this space. It's pretty good. Next, we're heading over to Wintertodt. I got plenty of fire making levels over in our last minigame, but I want to unlock the Pyro Robes, which will boost my fire making XP. I can access this space as one of the 4 skilling boss spaces. There's also a teleport on the game's necklace. This place gives me a ton of fire making experience as well as some decent loot. The game itself consists of a group of players tending to a fire to keep warm in order to keep the Wintertodt storm at bay. For this minigame, it's best to wear warm clothing to resist the cold damage, and all the supplies needed are provided within the skilling boss entrance. Once the Wintertodt percent is drained to 0, you are rewarded with a crate, which gives loot. Alright, and in our first crates, we have gotten the Pyro chest piece, and there's the Pyro hood, and the Pyro bottoms. We also got a Bruma torch, that's an equipable tinderbox, and the Pyro boots. So, that completes the whole set. And I've gotten myself up to 80 fire making, which I think is a good stopping point for now. I'll be back later to potentially get the Tome of Fire, and possibly a pet. They have also changed the system how you earn loot. All the crates are now placed on this cart here. I was bouncing around from minigame areas. Here's how we are progressing in our previously unlocked minigames. We got the rest of the helmets over at Pest Control for a decent mage and range gear setups. We are also doing a bit of Castle Wars on the side. We're starting to build up on those Castle War tickets. And we got 45 Hunter over at the Puro minigame, catching a ton of imps. At Barbarian Assault, I got a few more helmets. We also obtained a redwood tree from a nest, but I still need a lot more farming levels before I can even think about planting this. We did get our construction all the way to level 40, which means we can now change our player-owned house location. The only space in game where a minigame and a house portal share the same chunk is over in Brimhaven. So I will now have a tropical beach house location, and that means I can finally start up on my player-owned house. We're also getting closer to unlocking Prifdinus and the Gauntlet minigame. We have completed the Roving Elves quest, just a few more now and we'll finally have Prifdinus unlocked. Over at Temple Trekking, we spent a bit of time to obtain some bowstrings so I can get my fletching level up. We also built up quite a bit of Slayer tomes, and have now earned level 50 Slayer from the XP tomes here at Temple Trekking. Over at Shades of Mort'ton, we got some gold keys, and from that we earned a gold lock, a dragon longsword, and a dragon dagger. Alright, I got up to level 60 magic and completed the Mage Arena minigame. I did have to cast 100 spells to unlock their use outside of the arena. We also gained access to a rune shop here within the chunk, and the mage capes. Alright, red's my favorite color, so I guess we'll go Zamorak. Alright, on the next chapter of our adventure, we decided to head over to Birthorb at the Warriors Guild. Here, I will unlock the Dragon Defender. Only players with a combined attack and strength level of at least 130 are allowed to enter the Warriors Guild. Here, there is a list of minigame activities which will grant us Warrior Guild tokens. These tokens allow us to have some time within the Cyclops area where we'll have to unlock every single one of the defenders. I found that the animating armor is the best and most consistent way of obtaining Warrior Guild tokens. Alright, so now we'll head on upstairs and start killing these Cyclopses. And we have found our first defender, that's the Bronze Dun. And there's Iron, Steel, Mithril, Adamant. And there is the Rune Defender, only one more to go. For the Dragon Defender, we have to kill some higher level Cyclopses, which are underground behind the guild. It did take me quite a bit of time to get, but there is the Dragon Defender unlocked. This offhand is an excellent tool to have because it gives an extra +6 to strength bonus. And with that, we will eventually need to upgrade it even further down the road. So while we're in Soul Wars and Castle Wars, if we range someone, it usually leaves our arrows on the ground. So we're going to go ahead and finish the quest Animal Magnetism, which will unlock the Ava's Accumulator, a cape slot item which retrieves our arrows for us. Since the space where it's purchased isn't in a minigame area, we're going to have to purchase it from an NPC within a minigame chunk. Over at the Ferox Enclave, there's LMS, Clan Wars, as well as the tunnel that goes over to Soul Wars. But here, it is a minigame chunk, and there is an NPC here with a unique shop. His name's Purdue, and you can retrieve some lost property from him. So, we will purchase the backpacks here, the Ava's Accumulator and Assembler. We can purchase back some other quest items if we want to later down the road. But for now, the Accumulator is an item which we can use at the Nomad at Soul Wars and Lanthus at Castle Wars. These two NPCs manage the reward shops at their respective minigames, and now the capes inside of the minigame will use the arrow collection from the Accumulator. In the future, we'll need to obtain the Vorkath head in order to further upgrade the minigame capes. Now that we have some mage levels under our belt, we can take a look over at the mage training arena. This minigame thankfully got a buff not too long ago, making the collection logs and XP a bit better than what it used to be. Taking a look at the alchemy room, you are supplied with infinite items which have varying alch prices. The goal is to obtain as much gold as possible and dump it for massive XP, as well as alchemy points. In the graveyard room, you turn bones into bananas and dump them for graveyard points. In the telekinetic room, you use your telekinetic grab spell to move a statue within a maze. Completing this rewards some magic XP as well as telekinetic points. And lastly, there's the enchantment room, where you enchant shapes and dragon stones and dump them for enchantment points. This room's really nice because it's pretty easy to AFK. With all 4 of these points obtained, you can exchange them for the Mage's Book, a Master Wand, the Infinity Robe set, and the Bones to Peaches spell. This one is going to take me quite a while to complete a green log. For now, I just need a mud rune so I can complete the Eyes of Glorify quest. We'll be back, but to be honest, I'm not going to rush this one at all because it takes quite a lot of time, even with the buff. And recently, they added the Rune Pouch as an unlock from here, which means I'll have to upgrade that in the future.
Hey!
Oh shoot, my bad.
What'd you hit me for?
Well,
Not cool, man.
Sorry, the others didn't say anything when I was hitting.
You what?
Nothing. Let's forget about that. I was just trying to train up for my next minigame. I'm kinda into minigames.
Well, if you promise not to hit me again, I've got this smithing minigame inside.
Yeah, that would be amazing. Sorry again for,
You gotta watch where you're swinging that thing, man.
Yeah, I'll keep that in mind. You know, I'm kind of making a series about minigames of Gillinor.
Why are you telling me this?
Seems like people are enjoying it. It would mean a lot if you subscribed and commented. Also, I've got this bell that you can ring to be alerted when new episodes come out.
Uh-huh.
Would that be something you're interested in?
I'm a sentient hill giant in a medieval clicking fantasy game.
So...
I'm not sure if this is a threat since you just hit me a minute ago. But yeah, I suppose I could take the time to do that for you, bud. Because I'm nice.
Hey, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Thank goodness that weapon is too puny to leave a mark. Come inside, I got something really cool to show you.
Oh, sweet. Did we just become best friends?
Stop being weird.
Next to 2 previously unlocked minigames lies the Giant's Foundry. There is a hill giant, Kovac. who needs help restoring his foundry. After completing the quest, Sleeping Giants, I now have access to the Giants Foundry minigame. Here, you can dump smithing bars, or any extra armor or weapons you might have, and mold them into giant swords. This progression bar up here tells you if you need to heat or cool the sword, and if it needs to be grinded, padded, or smoothed. There's some great guides out there for full details, as well as a RuneLite plugin which will guide you fully. The rewards here are some molds to get some extra points in experience, the smithing outfit, which will allow you to smith bars on an anvil even faster, a double cannon mold, which sadly I'll never be able to obtain a cannon, but perhaps might need cannonballs in the future, and the Colossal Blade. This is the holy grail of skilling weapons. I want it. This place is also excellent smithing XP, and combined with the blast furnace over in Keldagrim, we can buy ores, craft bars, to make a never-ending supply of swords within the Giant's Foundry. This smithing cycle actually profits me quite a bit of money as well. And there is level 65 smithing. We have finally gained enough points for the Giant's sword. And there it is, the Colossal Blade. Apparently, if the hitbox of what you're attacking is bigger than a 1x1 tile space, you also get a damage increase. This minigame is giving pretty great smithing XP. We're getting our levels into the high 70s, and there's something I forgot to mention. Inside the reward shop, there is the Smith's Gloves, and these gloves do have a potential upgrade. We will need to obtain the Ice Gloves and combine them with the Smith's Gloves. After making a quick exception to kill the Ice Queen, we have now obtained the Smith's Gloves Imbued. A nice quality of life change, since I no longer need to use a bucket of water to cool the blades here, or bars at the blast furnace. I have finished the quest Contact. Now that we have a way to bank over and soften him, I think it's time we unlock the Pyramid Plunder minigame. Here, we plunder loot and progress through floors within the time limit. We can occasionally summon a mummy and a swarm of poisonous scarabs when looting these tombs. The loot is exclusively sold to Simon Templeton at the Agility Pyramid. I've decided we aren't going to allow for use at the Agility Pyramid, just access to the NPC Simon. From here, we are hoping for the small chance at obtaining the Pharaoh's Scepter, an item which can teleport us all around the desert. This scepter is also needed in order to put an ancient altar within the player-owned house. This will be crucial in order to change spellbooks on this account. Since the Pharaoh's Scepter is a minigame item, we'll eventually need to fully upgrade it into the Occult Altar after 90 construction. This minigame is also excellent thieving experience, and quite possibly our best way to level thieving. Wow, that was super quick. There it is, the Pharaoh's Scepter finally unlocked. And with that desert treasure is completed, we are now able to access the Ancient Spellbook. Over by the mirrors, Elbis will grant us the Ancient Signet needed to upgrade our altar inside of our player-owned house. We'll continue leveling our construction, but I think it's an excellent time to start up our next huge grind. Within the combat section of the OSRS Minigames wiki, there lies the Barrows Brothers. Let's get our spade and get to it. That concludes episode 3. Next episode, we'll get to start with the Barrows Brothers. Thank you so much for watching until the very end. And thank you again for subscribing and liking the video. It really means a lot. If you want to catch one of my live streams, leave me a follow over at twitch.tv/SakerMedia. Also, big thanks to BeggarOfficial. He played the Hill Giant Kovac this episode, and his socials will be listed down below. Make sure to leave him a follow. Thank you all so much for your support, and I'll catch you in the next episode of MinigamesMan.